You know, you ever buy a massive, gorgeous piece of furniture, like, I don't know, a custom-made sectional, and then the delivery truck pulls up, and you realize there is absolutely no way it's making it around the landing of your staircase?
Oh, yeah. The geometry just fails you. You're measuring and pivoting, and well, eventually you're just stuck in the hallway.
Right. It is a total logistical nightmare. So, welcome to today's deep dive, where our mission is to look at a display that actually faces that exact problem and solves it. We've got the specs from HDTVSupply for the Draper 254-225 profile plus fixed frame screen.
Right, and just to give you an idea of the scale here, this is a 109-inch diagonal, 16 by 10 widescreen.
Which is wild. Like, think about that. A rigid frame that size is basically an 8 by 5 foot unbendable rectangle.
Right. Try getting that into a basement home theater.
Or even, a second floor corporate training room. You are just asking for damaged drywall at that point.
Oh, totally. Which is why Draper, they completely bypassed the rigid frame issue here. They engineered this specific model to ship unassembled. So you aren't navigating an 8-foot monolith.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, you're just carrying these lightweight modular aluminum components directly into whatever room you're setting it up in.
Okay, but here is where I kind of have to step in and question the logic a bit. Because I'm looking at the source sheet, and it lists an MSRP of over $3,300.
Right, though it's currently discounted to about $2,600.
Sure, yeah, $2,600. But it explicitly states this is a special order, like non-cancelable, non-returnable, and non-refundable.
Yeah, that's a big commitment.
Right, so if I'm paying premium prices, why am I the one putting it together? Shouldn't a multi-thousand-dollar investment come ready to hang on the wall?
That is a really fair question. Well, you'd think so, but you're actually paying for the engineering that makes that assembly yield a completely flawless result.
Right.
I mean, this isn't cheap particle board. It's precision-cut extruded aluminum.
Okay, so it's high quality.
Exactly. And the real value you're locking into with that price tag is what Draper calls their zero-edge borderless design.
Zero edge, meaning like it looks like a floating image, no chunky black velvet borders like you see on older projector screens.
Spot on. And mechanically, to actually pull that optical illusion off, the frame uses these aluminum baffles. They're essentially structural edges that let the viewing surface wrap cleanly around the sides.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And then they use a sliding hook and loop system to pull the fabric perfectly taut over those baffles.
Ah, okay. So the hook and loop system isn't just, to stick it together. It's actively stretching the canvas to hide the structure underneath.
Right. It completely hides the skeleton behind the screen, leaving less than a 2-inch depth. So optically, the border just vanishes.
That actually makes a lot of sense. And the fabric itself, looking at the specs, it calls it a gray XH600V surface with a 0.6 gain.
Yes, that's right.
So for those of us who aren't, professional AV installers, why specifically gray? And what is a 0.6 gain actually doing for the image?
Well, this is where the environment really dictates the tech.
Huh.
A lot of modern projectors are just blindingly bright.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So if you put a super bright image on a pure white screen in a room that isn't pitch black, like, say, a church sanctuary or a corporate room with some ambient light, the image just looks totally washed out.
Oh, right, because of all the extra light bouncing around.
Exactly. So a 0.6 gain means the screen intentionally absorbs about 40% of that projected light.
Makes sense.
And paired with the gray tint, it deepens the black levels dramatically. It preserves the contrast.
I get it. So it's basically eating the excess brightness to give you those deep, inky blacks.
You got it.
Which probably makes that floating zero-edge illusion pop even more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the contrast is so sharp against the wall.
It really does. And actually, that brings up a super fascinating secondary benefit of this design. Because there is no bezel, what they call a mullion-less design, you aren't restricted to just one screen.
Wait, what do you mean by a mullion?
Oh, right. A mullion is just the vertical bar between panes of glass or, sections of a screen.
Okay, gotcha.
So without it, you can mount multiple of these displays flush against each other with zero visual separation.
Wait, really? So you could line up an entire wall of these and have no physical grid lines interrupting the video.
Yeah, exactly.
That completely changes how you design a premium viewing space. You get the massive continuous visual impact without the total nightmare of transporting a 30-foot rigid structure.
Totally. It just removes the barrier between you and the content, like both physically during the install and visually once it's actually on the wall.
Wow. So the Draper 254-225 really is like a high-end logistical problem solver. It gives you a flawless, borderless aesthetic, specifically engineered to handle the ambient light of premium spaces, and all while breaking down small enough to carry up a spiral staircase.
It really is a brilliant piece of engineering.
It is, but it does leave me with one final question for you to mull over. If you were designing a space that justified a permanent 109-inch zero-edge screen, or maybe an entire wall of them pushed seamlessly together, what is the one piece of visual content you would display to push that immersive illusion to its absolute limit?